train from the Tube. I'd like to confirm.
Hey, I've been getting the runaround for 2 hours, and I'm
Well, can you
coming
tell
up
me
on
approximately how much money was missing? Was it over $1,000?
Why don't you take a look at Mr. Berrigan? That man is in terrible pain.
We'll be looking in on everyone in a few minutes. You shouldn't excite yourself now.
Give him something for the pain, will you? Just do it.
I'm sure you know that any medication we give is a direct result of a doctor's order. It is not time for Mr. Berrigan to have another shot.
Cut all the procedural junk. I was a nurse when your mother was in high school. The man is dying. Now, it's not likely that you're going to turn him into a dope addict by giving him his shot a couple of hours early.
Excuse me. 7 West, Nurse Webster. No, she's out here. Telephone for you, dear. Your son. I'll switch it to your room. Would you like some help?
I'd like you to give Mr. Berrigan his shot.
Yes, Mrs. Donovan, we know.
I swung by your house and picked up the mail. Mother, just let the nurses do their job and you do yours, which is getting better. Oh, hey, here's a letter from Aunt Mo, unless somebody else in Burlington uses neuter your cat stationery. Just a second, I'll check.
Lou, did you see this? Here's a woman who is advertising for a companion.
Thanks very much, Rossi, but I'm not interested.
Will you just look at it? I cannot believe we are sinking to these depths. We don't take ads for X-rated movies.
What depths are we sinking to?
Rossi's worked up over this ad.
Oh, yeah. Are you man enough to be kept? To share life in the grand manner on my 300-acre estate in Santa Barbara, all expenses paid, in exchange for traditional conjugal arrangements. That's so cute.
That's so pathetic.
I wonder how many applications she's gotten.
Are you kidding? I bet not one person's going to bother to call this woman.
How much you want to bet?
Send Rossi to Santa Barbara. Oh, no.
I'm not asking, I'm telling.
Now, Rossi, don't let the moonlight on the ocean or the fragrance of orange blossoms turn your head. Try to keep your professional distance for once.
Oh, listen, I have no intention of letting this woman... Okay. That's funny. That's priceless.
Listen, I gotta go. Lou's giving me the fisheye. Lou says hi. Hi to you too, Lou. We'll both see you tonight. Okay. Bye.
How's your mom?
She's getting better every day. I expect to be subjected to one of her home-cooked meals real soon.
That's good.
Yeah. Been kind of a nuisance being cooped up in a hospital.
Lou,
Yeah?
I'm worried about him.
Why, he seems in terrific spirits.
But I know Peggy Donovan. I visited her a few times. She's a very sick woman.
Just how sick is she?
I don't think she's going to be going home.
Hello, Mother McCree.
Hello, Art. And Lou. This is nice.
We interrupting your dinner?
No, they haven't brought it around yet.
Good to see you again, Peggy. I brought you some parsley. It's a little scrawny.
It's perfect for the garden. Lou, if you knew how depressing those azaleas are.
Ah, well, I figured you'd like it.
He'll come along. He's kind of a cute little critter.
How are you feeling?
You're looking great. Oh, here's your mail. And, here's the horoscope for tomorrow's paper.
Oh, good. Read mine.
Isn't that unfair, you knowing what's going to happen before anyone else?
I'll use the power wisely.
Capricorn. A good day for prudent Capricorns to restrict strenuous activity.
Cancel the racquetball court.
You don't believe in that stuff, do you?
Sure I do, don't you?
Nah. I put my faith in scientifically verifiable things, like chain letters.
Mother, what have you been doing today? As I just passed the nurses now, they started making that clucking noise.
They're wondering how you put up with me. Don't be disappointed, but I'm not likely to be winning the Miss Congeniality Award around here. They hate me.
They're just trying to do their jobs.
I know.
Well, good evening, Mrs. Donovan.
Hello, Doctor. You know my son, Art?
Yes.
And Art's friend, Lou Grant?
Hi.
Hello. Mr. Donovan, may I see you a moment?
Mother, I love you dearly, but this is an opportunity I've been waiting for a long time. Don't wait up. Keep Lou entertained, will you?
What'll be, Lou? Highlights from Showboat?
Now I know where he gets it.
What?
They're kidding. You're a hell of a team.
Yeah. Olsen and Johnson & Johnson.
How are you feeling, Peggy?
Terrible. But thanks for asking.
Are you in any pain?
Only when I breathe.
We'll do everything we can for her, but since she's not responding to the chemotherapy, I wanted you to know how very serious the situation is with leukemia.
Why do you use scare words like that? I know what my mother's got, and I'd prefer it if you didn't keep dropping it like a tray full of dishes every time I talk to you.
All right? So long as you're aware of how ill your mother is.
I am. What's the next step? More chemotherapy?
Mr. Donovan, I'm not sure you're hearing me. I'm telling you the chances of your mother recovering are almost nil.
So you're giving up on her. Is that it? Have you told her that you've written her off?
We haven't told her anything yet. That's one of the reasons I'm conferring with you.
I don't believe this. Are we talking about the same woman? The person in that room? She's getting better every day.
I'm afraid that just isn't the case.
Take another look at her, Doctor. My mother's going to recover.
It's breaking my heart, but my doctor says I gotta sell the MG. Tells me it's messing up my back.
You mean a funny little two-seater?
You're talking about a classic.
For sale. 1954 MGTD, mint condition, one owner, original upholstery, extras. Extras?
Know that little tweed cap?
Oh, nice. How much you asking?
5,000.
Sounds low.
It is. I figured I'd give someone in the city room first crack at it. Put the notice up on the bulletin board.
Oh, no. Charlie, I have one ironclad rule I always try to live by.
What's that?
Never sell anything to anyone you know. It'll come back to haunt you.
Huh. Maybe you're right. I'll take out an ad. Animal, you were in a rush?
Never.
Will you drop this off in classified and tell them to bill me?
Sure thing.
Your car? The TD? Oh, Charlie, I gotta buy it. You gotta let me buy it.
You always liked it, didn't you?
Careful, Charlie.
Liked it? That's the greatest car ever made. Oh, handles like a dream. Great little engine. Oh, please. Please, I gotta buy it.
See, Animal, that's nice to hear.
I mean it, Charlie. Hey, I'll go to the bank at lunch.
It would be kind of nice knowing that it was owned by somebody who'd get a real kick out of it.
What are you asking for it?
4,700?
I can swing that. Hey, I can. No sweat. Oh, Charlie, you made me the happiest guy in the world.
Good. That's good. That's good. That's good.
Are we talking about the same story? I thought Bruce did pretty good.
Sure, but we've been rewriting everything.
Well, now that we've got it to where it's good, what's the rush to reassign him?
Skip it, Lou. Just skip it.
Fine. How's Peggy?
My little gray-haired mother in her black shawl with the mind like a steel trap? She's fine.
Good. Scotch rocks.
Vodka martini.
She didn't, look too good last night.
Think so?
What exactly is wrong with her?
It's something to do with her blood. I don't think it's anything. Listen, don't worry about it.
Anemia?
Not exactly.
If you'd rather not tell me.
I'd rather not tell you, all right?
Sure.
It's leukemia, okay?
I'm sorry, Art.
Just do me a favor and don't tell her.
You don't think she knows?
I know she doesn't know. It's very important that we keep her spirits up so we can beat this thing.
You mean try to bring it to remission?
I mean, cure it.
Leukemia? Is
more than one way to treat leukemia, you know. People have been cured.
Thanks. What does your doctor say?
Dr. Chase? She's the wrong person to be treating Mother. She has no confidence.
Going to change doctors?
I think so.
Where are you going to take her?
Anywhere? Everywhere. Why, do you know someone?
No. I'm just remembering. My father died of emphysema. We didn't tell him either. We tried to keep his mind off how sick he was. So we talked all the time. But not about the most important thing. How we felt about him. The sad thing is, I'm pretty sure he knew he was dying all along.
I'll tell you something, Lou. I keep my mouth shut about this at the paper, and now I know why. So I don't have to listen to people trying to work off their guilt on me.
Art, please, what are we talking about here?
My mother is not dying. Now lay off.
Let's face it. I'm going to die. You're going to die. Even that gorgeous young girl is going to die, and your mother...
Lou, go to hell.
Art. Hey, Art.
Well, there she is.
I'd remembered it as white.
You don't like classic yellow?
Oh, yellow's fine, I guess.
I just had it repainted if I'd only wanted it white.
It's a beautiful shade of yellow. Besides, yellow is easy to keep clean. Hides the dirt.
You got a ding here.
Where?
Over here. Stand here. See it?
Wow.
There's nothing there.
Original equipment?
Everything has been rebuilt or replaced. The engine, the brakes, the exhaust system. Well, except the upholstery, but those seats are leather. They'll last forever.
What are you doing? Your car has a back seat full of trash.
That's different, Lou. That's just transportation. This is an investment. Uh-oh. Charlie?
What?
Don't do it.
What?
Looks like we got some leaking oil.
Oh, no. That's for my other car, the one I usually take to work. That oil has been there for months. Really?
Sure. That's what it must be. You ever flip this baby over?
Donovan, how about lunch today? We haven't had a good talk in a long time.
What do you want to talk about?
Nothing special. Stuff.
I don't want to talk about stuff.
I'm back.
No calls. Rossi. Your piece on the rich Santa Barbara lady. It's unbelievable.
Every word of it is true.
I'm talking about your style. What did she do to deserve this? The aging matron, when questioned about her age, giggled girlishly. 45-ish, she said. She asked her if she had all her own teeth.
I didn't have to. It's in there further down.
By far her most stunning feature, however, are the 2 rows of perfect white teeth, as unaffected by age as the pearls around her throat. And just as false, right, Rossi?
You got it.
Well, good for you. You managed to make a fool out of a lonely, middle-aged woman.
Listen, you guys were the ones who wasted.
Pretend you don't know who this is.
Who is this?
Billy.
Get off my back about what I had for breakfast. Just
Leave me in
rewrite
your
that
office,
story.
okay?
I'm not giving it to anybody else.
Okay.
You're always giving me a pain.
Why don't you
in the
let
neck.
her rewrite it?
She isn't going to rewrite it. The story is yours.
I don't understand what you're objecting.
I'm a normal human being. I enjoy seeing Rossi get blue penciled as much as anybody. But Donovan,
Yeah, I know.
he's really a good editor. You know those samurai movies where the guy gets sliced up so fast you can't even see the sword?
Sure.
That's how Donovan edits your copy. Schlumpf! War and Peace is just war, and you're not even bleeding.
You're right. He is good at it.
And he's smart, too. He never gets emotional with the reporters. He never picks a fight. Look at him now.
All right, I'm going to have a look at it.
Mm-hmm. Billy, I don't think I'm the right person to say anything to him right now.
You realize, don't you, that if those two start shooting, this glass isn't going to give us any protection.
Come on in. I think you should hear this.
It's Donovan.
I know. What's gotten into it?
His mother's real sick. Leukemia. We've both seen her, and we think she's
dying, right?
I have a hard time with that word. Yeah. I think she's dying.
This got him a little crazy, hmm?
He won't even let his mother talk about it.
I try to sit down with Art. He cuts me off.
Well, it's a natural reaction. We'd all prefer to avoid talking about death. Still, the longer you hold off, the less equipped you are to deal with it.
I suppose.
Marion and I joined a funeral society a year or so ago.
Will you pre-plan your burial?
Yeah. We did it because we didn't want whichever one of us was left behind to get socked with a huge funeral bill. But what was good about it was that it got the two of us talking about dying. I mean, it really cleared the air.
Billy, you finished that phone company story?
This afternoon.
How'd you like to do a story on this stuff?
About dying?
And how we handle it?
Yeah. Yeah, I would.
Lou, I think you're needed over at ringside.
Periodicals, but you won't be writing on a good paper. Now go back to it.
Lou Grant will continue in a moment here on A&E.
Actually, the furnaces are maintained at 2,000 degrees. That's a lot hotter than the oven you have at home. Would you like to look inside?
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you ever have it where you put a guy in there, except he wasn't really dead?
That's so gross.
Never.
Does it hurt? Dummy, when you're dead, you can't feel anything.
Well, I think that's a good question. See, you feel pain through your brain. Did you know that? And if your brain isn't working, then you don't feel any pain. And one of the ways doctors tell if you're dead is if your brain has stopped working.
But my brain stops when I'm sleeping.
No, it doesn't. Your brain is working all the time you sleep. You just don't know about it.
Mr. Calloway,
Yes.
do the worms really go in and out?
Don't you love them?
You certainly have a knack for getting kids to open up.
Experience. I tell you, the first time one of them asked me if I'd ever tried cooking pizza in the furnace, I almost choked.
What kind of response do you usually get from these field trips?
Oh, a lot of thank you drawings with pictures of me dressed up like Dracula. A healthy mixture of the real and the fantastic.
What about the parents?
Well, the ones who really object keep their kids from coming, I suppose. You'd be surprised how defensive people get when the conversation turns to death.
I don't think I would.
When I'm on a date, the one subject I know we're never going to talk about is how my day went. They don't want to know.
Sure. Isn't it depressing?
A little. But what I deal with are the cases that are closed. job I don't think I could handle is trying to help the people who are on their way here. You know, there's a guy in town that you've got to talk to. He's got the depressing job. Runs a hospice.
Hospital?
No. A hospice. There's a difference.
All your patients know they're dying.
That's right. That's what this hospice is all about. Hospitals are for healing, not dying. Talk to some nurses or doctors, and they'll probably tell you they feel like they failed when a patient dies.
And it affects the care the patients get?
Oh, I think so. I remember when I was a young surgeon. I was good, and I knew it. Saving lives, monitoring the vital signs, even though I usually knew when a patient didn't have a chance. You know what would happen? I'd give up in here. Take a little longer answering their calls and spend a little less time once I got there. Who wants to come face to face with one's failures?
So how did you end up here?
Well, I went to look in on one of the write-offs late one night. Found a cleaning woman sitting at the edge of the bed, listening to this old guy, just listening. You should have seen the look on his face, alive, telling her who he was. And I wondered why it wasn't me sitting there. It was 20 years before I built a hospice, but that night changed everything.
That's what you have to offer then, listening.
Well, we do our best to control the pain. That's important. And to surround our patients with the familiar, with life. That's why we like our staff to have their kids around after school. It'd be great if these folks could be at home, but it's not always possible.
I'm a little bothered, Dr. Ralph.
What bothers you?
Well, you make giving up on life seem so appealing. Painless in a beautiful setting with helpful people. Doesn't it kind of seduce people into surrendering?
You mean not fighting for that one more day?
Yes. This resignation that you talk about, it goes against everything that I feel instinctively.
Do not go gentle into that good night.
Well, yes.
Hope is essential, yes. But what's wrong is fooling yourself that any victory is permanent. I've watched thousands of people die. When they have had the time and courage enough to prepare for it, it can be good. You know Hamlet. If it be not now, yet it will come. The readiness is all.
Doctor, I have a friend who has leukemia, and she needs help. Would you be able to talk to her?
I don't think so. But, I'll listen.
If you're selling aluminum siding or dance lessons, forget it. If it's insurance, have a seat.
I'm a doctor.
A doctor? Oh, thank you, Billy. Just what I needed. Take all you want, but use all you take.
I'm Pat Ralph, and I'm just visiting.
Peggy Donovan.
You're, pretty tired of being jabbed at, hmm?
You sound as if you really want an answer.
I do?
Yeah. I'm tired.
And, sore.
Sometimes I get real mad. Other times I'm just too tired. Oh. You mean sore, achy?
No. Whom do you get mad at?
A couple of the nurses. They never let down their guard, not for a minute. Never really talk to you.
Who else makes you mad?
My son. Don't tell him I said that.
I promise.
With him, it's all jokes. When I tell him I feel rotten, he tries to kid me out of it, as if I'm not feeling what I'm feeling. Do you think that he doesn't know that I have leukemia?
What makes you think that's what's wrong?
It was on my admissions chart. I suppose they figured that I couldn't read upside down.
What did you do?
First chance, I got hold of a medical textbook, and I looked up leukemia to see if they discovered a milder form since my nursing days. They hadn't. The last time I went sneaking through a medical textbook was when I was 15 years old. Only then I was looking up the facts of life.
Anybody else make you mad?
Yes, me. I'm angry with myself. You know how when you're getting old, you realize that there are some things that you can't do anymore.
I sure do.
But with me, that seems to be happening all the time. Like yesterday, now that was a beaut. All my life, I've been brushing my hair 100 strokes a day. How many strokes is that? Don't tell me. I don't want to know. Yesterday, I was feeling pretty good. But I couldn't do it. It wore me out.
What happened?
I just sat up in bed crying with my hair hanging in my face. It wasn't brushing my hair, I know. It's wondering what's going to go next and knowing that whatever it is, it will have become precious. And it makes me angry. And the hospital keeps jabbing at me. And the nurses don't like me. And my son won't let me talk. And with all this going on, how can I die in peace?
Lou Grant will continue in a moment here on A&E.
So, we've got you flying into Mexico City day after tomorrow. From there, you rent a car and take Highway 21 to Corona de los Palos.
Will it be hard to find?
Well, the roads are pretty good until about 20 miles out. The last stretch is rough going, but there are signs.
Okay, great.
Now, I would check into the motel first and call the clinic from there. If they're running behind schedule, it'll save you from making 2 trips.
It's a good idea, thank you.
So, well, we'll leave the return open. Who knows, your mother may be feeling so much better you want to come back along the coast.
That'd be great, wouldn't it?
Listen, Dr. Montoya is a miracle worker as far as I'm concerned. The doctors up here couldn't do a thing for my wife. We went everywhere. Finally, I take her to a Mexican doctor in a little out-of-the-way clinic, and she's back on her feet in a month. That's why I book these trips for people. It's my way of saying thanks. I bless that man every day.
Listen, they couldn't tell me over the phone. What kind of treatments are they?
Shots. I don't know what's in them, but really, if it works, does it matter?
It's got to work. Mr. Wilcox, I feel so much better. Me being able to do something about this. You know?
Sure, I know. I've been there. Vaya con Dios, amigo.
Thank you. Lou, I won't be in tomorrow.
Oh? What's up?
Personal business, out of town.
I see.
I hope you won't have any trouble with that.
We'll manage.
All right.
Taking your mother to another doctor?
Yeah, sort of.
One of those clinics?
Yes.
Where?
Mexico?
She's strong enough to go?
Lou, she needs these treatments.
What treatments, Art? Lemon juice, apricot pits, freeze-dried coffee?
You don't know anything about it.
I know that you're acting like a desperate man. I know that you're not letting your mother make decisions for herself, and I know you're miserable and won't show it, not even to the person who cares the most.
You're very supportive, thanks.
Ask her, Art. Please. Ask her. I thought that maybe you could talk to Mrs. Donovan, knowing how she feels, and...
Well, first of all, Mr. Grant, I'm no longer her physician. It's not my place to interfere.
No, I understand that, officially. But Art is acting impulsively here. I thought if you could talk to his mother, maybe we could put a stop to this nonsense of going to Mexico.
I'm not a counselor, Mr. Grant. I'm a doctor. And besides, I think I understand exactly what Mr. Donovan is doing. He's fighting to keep his mother alive.
But it's crazy. That doctor is probably a quack.
People get pretty desperate when they feel science has failed them. You know, I've seen people cured by quacks. I mean, real quacks with placebos. And by prayer. And laughter. And by nothing at all. I've seen it. Not many, not even 1 in 10,000, but still, we all think we're that one, don't we?
Whether it's science or quackery, you're both talking of heroic efforts up to the last seconds.
Absolutely. That's what I believe in.
Well, isn't it possible that what Mrs. Donovan needs most now is the peace and quiet to die?
I can't condone that.
No matter what?
No matter what. If she were my patient, I would use everything in my power to keep her going.
When you know you're going to fail?
Yes. Because with what I learn about leukemia from treating Mrs. Donovan, maybe I can add another day to the next patient's life. Now, I don't need any more justification than that. Good luck, Mr. Grant.
These beautiful animals are in constant danger, not only from their natural...
Peggy Donovan of Glendale, California.
...present possibility of...
What are you doing?
How would you like an all-expense paid vacation in Mexico?
That's not funny.
I mean it. Tonight at 11:15, you and I get on a big silver bird and wing our way to the land of burritos and the Tijuana Brats. Okay, it's bad example.
Art, I'm sick. I can't go anywhere.
Mother, we're going to see a doctor down there. This guy has practically performed miracles on hundreds of people.
I'm not going.
I've thought it out, and we've got to give it a try.
No.
Mother dear, this is not a request. Now, I know what's best for you. Go along with me and we can lick this.
Let me tell you something. When your father and I first lived in California before you were born, we used to take Sunday drives in the Oldsmobile. I'd pack a lunch and then we'd head for the hills at Topanga. There were plenty of nice, shady spots. A few of them even looked right out onto the ocean. But Michael kept saying, Peggy, sit tight. There's a better spot further up.
That sounds like Pop.
Well, you could imagine. The sun went down, the fog rolled in. The father kept winding round in the hills, and we always ended up bundled in the car, staring into the pitch black, drinking warm lemonade, and eating dusty chicken. You see, your father could never say enough. I want to give you everything, but this will have to do. Enough, darling. Please.
What do you want me to do?
I want to go home. I don't want to end things somewhere in Mexico or here where the people don't like me. Let me go home to my garden.
Lee Grant will continue in a moment here on A&E.
Hi, Lou.
Donovan, what are you doing here?
Change of itinerary. Can I talk to you?
Well, sure. McKenna's or my office? Wet or dry?
Dry, I hope.
Trip's off?
She wants to go home.
And?
Lou, it's just me. I can't take care of her. I don't know how to give shots. It might be months, maybe more.
Yeah, that's a problem. But aren't there nurses you could hire? You could learn to give shots.
Well, her health insurance may just cover hospitalization. May not cover home care. Oh, God. am I talking about? I'm talking about money.
Hey. That's all a part of this. Now, wait a second. You don't know what's going to happen. Maybe your mother will have to go back to the hospital. Maybe she'll decide to try Mexico.
Yeah, you might be right.
I think the thing to do might be to take this a little at a time.
Look, even if I get nursing help, there's no way I can hold down my job here and be on call at her house in Glendale.
Now, that's something I can help you with. Take a leave of absence. We give them for less important reasons. We'll get Rossi or somebody to fill in.
I don't know, Lou. I can't stay cheerful and smiling 24 hours a day.
What makes you think that's what your mother wants? She's seen you every way you can be. And whatever it is you are, that's what she wants.
My address book is in the kitchen with the cookbooks. It's pretty disorganized, but anyone you'd need to call is in it. There's only one key for the back door, so don't bother looking for a spare. I'm really jumping around, so I hope you'll be able to make sense out of this. Thank Billy for the use of this machine. The rest of the spare keys are in the kitchen, in that table.
I figured you could use a snack. What are you doing?
Tying up some loose ends.
What do you mean?
Just some little things I want to get out of my mind. Details about the house, banking, things like that.
You don't have to worry about that.
Of course I do. It's my business and I want to finish it. We never talk about it, so I figured this is the best way.
I can't talk about this, Mother. I'm sorry. I know I'm letting you down.
What are you talking about?
There's so much I want to say. But every time I come in here, all I can think is, don't go.
I know. But we have time. I'm not going in 5 minutes. Let's talk.
You know how much I love you. We don't have to go into that.
But it's nice to hear it, though.
Mother, I know it looks like I've settled for less than I should. That worries me a lot.
It does?
I like not pushing to get ahead at the paper.
You know what kills me?
What?
Let me tell you, it kills me that you're not happier.
I'm happy enough.
And I can't help feeling that maybe a couple of kids would help.
You know what kills me? That I'm finally getting to the point where I'd like to settle down. Start raising a family. And now you won't be able to enjoy it. I felt like I've owed you that. And I've let you down.
I'm proud of you. Depend on it. What? What?
When you said the word proud, I was thinking of that ugly nut dish I made for you in shop once. You said you were proud of me then. I mean, what else could you say? But at the time, it made me feel great. It was so awful.
Not one word against my nut tray.
Now hold it, Billy.
I will get you for this.
Now let's talk about that. Why do you suppose you're so thin-skinned about criticism?
The days will pass. We'll go our separate ways. You'll drop your guard, and I will get you.
Why are you lowering this discussion to such a childish level?
Billy, go away for
Lou,
5
just
minutes.
let me explain.
Billy, go down the hall and kick the broken candy machine. Trust me, your problems will disappear.
5 minutes.
Right. Rossi?
Thanks, Lou.
Remember that dame in Santa Barbara? The one looking to buy a boyfriend?
Sure. About Billy, I think a hard line's the best way to handle her.
It's time for a follow-up. If you go now, you'll be in Santa Barbara before the fog rolls in.
You sure you can spare me?
We'll manage. Now, take your time. Really soak up some atmosphere. I'll talk to you the first of next week.
Lou, I can assign someone to it.
Now, be sure and call. Let me know how it's going.
Okay, sure. You mean this?
It'd be a great story.
Okay. You're the boss.
Charlie, I'm just heartsick about it.
You're heartsick. Imagine how I feel. Adam just heard that the car was for sale.
You think a newspaper would have a faster grapevine?
He offered me $6,000 for it.
You gotta be kidding. Oh, gee.
I could kick myself. I mean, not just because of the dough, but it would have given us such a good home. Oh, no. Animal, tell me that's an old Frisbee injury.
It's the car.
No. No.
Imagine how I feel. Charlie's some woman in a big, stupid station wagon.
She hit you?
I rear-ended her. When you hit the car, were the brakes mushy?
That damn little rabbit.
What little rabbit?
At the far end of the garden.
I don't see... Oh, yeah.
Systematically ate the heart out of every escarole plant.
Want me to chase him off?
No.
What if we invite him in for dessert? Crank you down a little bit?
No. It's funny.
What's that?
I've felt less and less like talking lately.
I've noticed.
I just like to lie here and think.
You want me out?
No. I don't want to talk, but I don't want you to go.
I won't.
Actually, the guy she chose is kind of nice. Big old string bean of a guy. He'd been working for the county, got laid off after Proposition 13. Now he's training for the Boston Marathon.
Rossi, you seem to have mellowed on this story.
Oh, it's not that, but she really is sort of vulgar, you know. But they get along really well, and yeah, I was surprised. I think it's probably when you get to know anybody, there's something there that's appealing.
I haven't always found that to be the case.
Good morning, everybody.
Art, hi.
Welcome back.
Hi, Donovan.
What's up, Lou?
Well, Animal and Bros are at the airport. Rossi's just back from Santa Barbara.
Good stuff?
Okay, I'll make it better. How's your mom?
Mother died Tuesday.
Oh, no. I'm sorry. I didn't know.
It's all right, Rossi, really. The last month has been very tough, but very full.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm still very sad, but, yeah, I'm okay. I'd like to tell you about it later.
I get it. City desk, Donovan.
They were men and women who set out to change history. From Patrick Henry's Cries of Liberty to Susan B. Anthony's quest for women's rights, we'll meet some of our country's most intriguing political upstarts. Join us for Rebels with a Cause Week on Biography tonight. Now, the arrest of a small-time drug dealer threatens to ruin a major bust on Police Story, next on A&E.